I'm on a quest to find music and art. Supporting local talent is the place I start. Yeah, this is our culture, the place to be. Games, books, arts, and crafts and jewelry. This the guardians of the geekery. 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 And now for today's episode of Guardians of the Geekery with your hosts, Matt, Carol, and Joey.
Oh my goodness, Guardians of the Geekery back with another Geekery Market edition of the podcast. We're excited to have Christy here from Trolley Witches. Oh my goodness. But before we get into our guest, just remind everybody the Geekery Market is Saturday, November 9th, 2024 at the Cabarrus Arena and Events Center. It's over 30,000 square feet of geeky goodness. It's like real life Etsy for geeks. Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
2 months away. 2 months.
I know.
It's
getting so close. It's way too close.
Not ready.
No stress, Christy. No stress to you. But 2 months. 2 months from yesterday. So yeah, get your stuff ready. But we start off saying like 360 days till the next one, and then all of a sudden we're down in the 60s, and we're like, wow, how did that happen? It just was like that. But Trolley Witches, this is not your first time at the Geekery Market. You've been to several of them,
yes,
correct? You started with the very first one, I think you were at, and then you were with us at Noah's. You've been to Queen's University, and now, were you here last year with the Cabarrus Arena?
I didn't get to come last year. That was the only year I haven't been there. Usually we're playing with Hawthorne and Holly, and so we would run from our booth and play a set, run back to our booth.
Well, and this year the music's a little bit different. So we're actually having the music in the same location.
Awesome.
And so Braxton and Sarah from Valentine Wolf, and then Marcus and Marcus Octavius, and there's another gentleman, and they're going to be playing ambient music. So like music, gothy metal music to shop by.
Yeah,
that's right. Better. So so you don't have to run this year. You can just be. But 30,000 square feet of geeky goodness, like Matt said. So we have 10-foot aisles. You'll be able to breathe. 28 foot. Is it 28 foot or 33 foot ceilings in the center, I think.
Yeah.
So lots of airiness.
That's wonderful. Perfect for claustrophobic peoples like me.
All us neurospicy people, and we'll have little tables and chairs set up around so people can sit down and chill out for a little while, get something to eat from the concession stand, go listen to some music, play with some Legos, and then come over to the Trolley Witches table and buy something from you. So yes. I know you're in the band Hawthorne and Holly, but tell us a little bit how you got started with Trolley Witches.
We would go to different events, and they would have so many vendors, and they made so many crafts. And so my friend Grace and I, Grace Kendall, we decided to be crafty ourselves. So we spent like a month just crafting weird different things, figuring out what we liked and didn't like, and figured out we loved pouring candles. Pouring candles makes a big old mess if you have no idea what to do. So it took a little while, but now we've got it down to a little science. So we've gotten really good at it. And then my other friend who's in Hawthorne and Holly, she was like, well, I want to be crafty. And so we started making these great hats.
Oh my gosh.
The hat bases. And she's so good at this. And she'll put it together right in front of you. And it's beautiful. You never know what it's going to look like, but she's just really got an eye for making cool hats.
Are those felt hats?
Huh?
Are those felt hats?
They're knit.
Oh, cool.
They
And then
match your
she's-
wall, so it took a second. I was like,
Oh, yes. For my red music room, Eddie picked the color because he's a Gryffindor.
And so your candles are a little unique. You don't just pour them. They look like food, and but they're not.
Yes.
They're not
I'm-
edible, folks. Don't eat them.
No. So these are my dessert candles, and they're so delicious looking. They look like you want to eat it, like seriously. But all the different flavors of the fruits are different, on it. So you don't get bored with it. It's just like cooking for me. I love it so much. And
Cooking with wax.
yes.
And then you have a little dragon candle and a D20.
Oh, yes, there's my little dragons. They come in different things. I love my D12. My D20s are still in working. Well, I'm still working on it, but my D12s look great.
No, they
Yeah.
do. And they sit well, don't they?
They
D20s
really
are a
do.
little bit more
They're
complicated.
amazing. And then I just started making these owls. But yeah, I love my D12s. They are really cute. They're so cute, especially in different colors, because we nerds need it to look cute. Then we have our butterbeer. That's always my best seller. I always have a little bit of that at the table.
And what flavor is the other mug?
This mug is pumpkin juice, and I believe I'll start making fire whiskey by that time, since it's closer to Christmas. And this last one right here is Dreamless Sleep. It's a little bit of eucalyptus mint with a tiny bit of lime citrus, and it is wonderful when you're not feeling well.
That sounds a lot like similar scents like they used to have at Bath and Body Works, the eucalyptus and spearmint that you would spray on your pillows, and I always slept better.
Oh,
so that's a good one.
Pillow sprays, those were wonderful.
Yeah. But I bet if you lit that for just a little while you were getting ready for bed, then blow it out before you fall asleep, people. Do not fall asleep with the candle lit.
No.
But yeah, that I bet that smells amazing. Or even if you were taking a bath and you had that lit in there, okay. I'm like, I want to go up in a big bathtub now and have those candles lit.
Yes.
And then what do you have on your pegboard?
I started making I started getting a lot of asks for wax melts. And so I make all the different scents on my pegboard of wax melts now. So I have a lot more than this. This is just an example of what I made so far. But there's a Forbidden Forest one. I have a Star Wars one. I forgot what I named it. It's so cute. But lots of different fandoms on my pegboard.
Does the Star Wars one smelled like Anakin Walker in when he's burning?
Oh God, I hope not. That's rough.
It's like it smells like s'mores. Is that it?
We need a Kylo Ren one, but we need a Kylo Ren one that sounds like this, smells like disappointment.
Nice.
We are bad people. That's for sure.
Disappointment and body sweat for Kylo Ren.
Always has a shirt off.
So which came first, the candles or the filking? Were you always making candles? Which came first, the filking or the candles? Were you always
definitely
the filking?
I've been singing since I was able to speak. And Phoenix, my son, is the same way. But I've always made music, and it just it just made sense when we started making fandom music, and me and Eddie, my husband, can play together, and it's made our relationship even better, like sharing music for the last 10 years. So we love it.
Now, did you know he could play music before?
Yes, because he serenaded me with some music that I won't. Yeah, he serenaded me when he was trying to get me to date him. Yeah, it was very good.
Oh.
It worked. Obviously,
yes,
it worked.
We've talked before on here about how scary it is when there's something that's a passion of yours and you find out that the guy or the person that you're seeing is maybe done that. Like when I found out that Matt had written comic books, I was
Oh wow.
excited, but also
Yeah.
terrified because if I read them and hated them, how would I continue
Oh
dating him?
no.
Did you
Ooh.
have that fear when you found out that he sang that, like, if he wasn't a good singer, might have problems or?
Not really.
Okay. So it's just me. I'm the bad
He's
person. Thanks, Christy.
it's
Thanks for like.
Our dynamic is so funny because he's such an introvert and I'm such an extrovert. So him doing that really was coming out of his shell. It was a really big surprise. So it's the sweetest.
No, that's good. And so Hawthorne and Holly, you guys have, obviously connection to the Harry Potter from the Filk side of things.
Yes.
And so each one of your members represents a different house, correct?
That's true. It wasn't that way in the beginning. I was definitely trying to be a Gryffindor because there was so much Gryffindor merch out there. And Leah looks at me and she says, there's no way you're ever going to be a Gryffindor in any world. And so I was like, yeah. And so, yeah, I just admitted that I was Slytherin and it was fine. But yeah, it's really funny how that worked out. Like Eddie was always a Gryffindor. Leah was definitely always a Ravenclaw. And then when we met Dave, yeah, it was really surprising that he was a Hufflepuff and we wanted him to join like immediately. So kind of worked out in our favor.
Odd thing to add to the resume, but it works.
Yeah.
You guys have been playing together for how long now?
Since 2007.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. That is 16 years, people.
It really is. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is sad. Oh my gosh. I feel old. I feel very,
your
very
band
old.
is now a teenager.
Wow. Leah will always say, no, we're not. It's not like we're professionals. And I'll say, we are professionals. When you get to play gigs, you're professional.
And so what things that are you bringing this year that the hats are new, right? You haven't had those before.
Yeah, I had them a little, but Leah will probably make a lot more on spot. She also brings these musical wreaths that are so pretty.
I was really hoping that you were bringing them, but I didn't want to mention them behind you in case you weren't bringing them because I didn't want to get everybody's hopes up.
Yes, she will definitely have those now that she's figured out she likes making them.
So for our audio listeners, they are beautiful wreaths with
Are they book pages or music pages?
Music pages of Christmas songs.
Oh wow. And then there's a poinsettia in the middle. So they're kind of rolled a little bit like bugles or horns.
Yes.
In a cone shape in a circle with the beautiful poinsettia in there, and then with the bright red wall of the red music room behind it, they really pop off of there. So they're very pretty.
Thank you. Oh, she's gonna be tickled.
I was looking at them thinking they were just part of your decor, and I was like, I wonder if I could figure out those.
Yes, that was my house. This is how Eddie decorates the room. So it's all it's not even my room.
Yeah.
Well, the guitars are a nice decor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Carol, exact same thing. I really thought they were beautiful and didn't want to bring them up in case they weren't for sale. So for our audio listeners, you're going to need to come on the podcast and watch it. You can go to YouTube or to the Geekery Market page, and you'll be able to see this is very much a visual podcast for this particular episode. So our apologies for that, but you need to see all of her cool
stuff. Or you can come to the market and see the booth itself.
Yes, come to the market.
And you can. It's not an or, it's an and.
Sorry.
You can't see Carol's cats though. You can't see those at the market.
You can't see them at the market. They are not. Well, I was going to say they aren't for sale, but if you got an offer, I might. Don't listen, Nix. I might be tempted.
Christy, you probably haven't seen it yet, but Carol and I started a podcast called Two Woke Bonnets where we're rewatching.
I heard about it. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen.
Yeah, we're rewatching Little House on the Prairie episodes, and we wear bonnets while we're doing it. And one of our listeners said that Nix needed their own bonnet, and I went on Amazon and found one. So if anybody wants to go and buy Carol's cat,
buy my cat's a bonnet,
a Little House on the Prairie bonnet, we will add it. Could you imagine if Nix just started walking through
that would be the cutest.
But
she's got opinions on the show. She just has opinions.
She'll be fine. They'll be fine until we start recording, and then
it's just mouthy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, pacing, and you got to pay attention to me.
Yes.
So we've kind of been asking a lot of the people who've been at the Geekery market, but of course you're kind of in a unique position because you've seen us in 3 or 4 iterations. Obviously you haven't seen the Cabarrus yet. This will be your first year for that, but you've seen the other iterations. If you were to explain the Geekery market, what versus like going to a convention or a festival, how would you explain it to people?
Wow, there's so much that's happening during the market. Wow, it's so good. There's things that you would not even imagine people selling, and they're selling it, and they're so talented. Just a lot of really unique items. Like my friend Grace got this crystal tiara that was just stunning, and they wear it to everything now. Gosh, there's so many good things. Custom
you also, you get stuck at the table, I realize too, but it's usually a good time of a lot of stuff going on.
So much good stuff. There's great food always. It is just a lot of fun, and you get to hang out with your friends.
Yes.
That's the best.
And this year we have an on-site concession stand, and last year they actually went through and renamed their items to be geeky items. So
I love it.
They had, for the vegan veggie wrap, they recalled it the Groot sandwich or something like that, and different things. And if you're one of the first 100 people through last year, they had a special glitter unicorn straw that you got with this special drink they were making.
Oh.
So you could take that glitter straw home with you if you were one of the first 100. Carol, you got one, right? Did you get one of the unicorn straws?
I did not. Wanda did. Wanda
did. I knew one of us was able to get it before they sold out. It wasn't me. And you could get your photos taken with Jedi Santa this year.
Oh,
we had that last year too. It was a lot of fun. And
that sounds fun.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun with that. So is there anything that you haven't shown us that you were possibly bringing with you?
With me, I have shown you almost everything. I am still waiting on assortment of like skulls. So in the past, I've always had these filled skulls with crystals and prettiness in there. I should have those this year. I used to sell those like consistently, but I haven't had them for a little while, but I have some more. They're kind of like this. They're kind of like this, but they're filled. Yeah. So I love making those, but they're harder to get now. So, but besides that, I think this will be it. This will be a good amount of things.
Oh no, absolutely. It's a great amount. And I love the hats, and your candles always smell nice. And so, and it's different. So we have a couple different kinds of candle sellers, but yours is the only food sellers we have. And then the butter beer and stuff like that, and the wax melts, but the hats and definitely the wreaths. We don't have a bunch of people selling those. Now, if people wanted to go and see pictures of it, do you have a Trolley, which is Instagram or Facebook or?
I have an Instagram and a Facebook, and we're also on Etsy, but I don't do very much Etsy. So
and it's Trolley Witches, but it's spelled Trolley.
why?
Make sure you put that E in the trolley.
That
So
way, yeah, we're not trying to step on somebody who should not be named.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure to check out Trolley Witches, and if they wanted to see your band, where would they go to check out your band?
Oh wow. Well, they could go to Conjuration that happens in Atlanta in November. Also, there's going to be a Wizard Fest in Orlando. And that's going to be in November. There's a lot happening
Busy
in
November.
A lot of Yule balls and things.
It's a good thing we get you at the beginning of November. I think by the end of November, we'll see the ghost of Christy Mowry.
Yes.
Nearly headless Christy will be floating around.
It's going to seem that way.
In the best possible way. But, we'll get to see you while you're still bright and smiley and shiny, and not at the end of November where you're like, is it time for Christmas yet? So
then I start all over.
Well, so if they wanted to check out, does Hawthorne and Holly have their Facebook page as well?
We do. Also, we have a website, hawthorneandholly.com. We have that. We're on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and all those good things. And we'll be playing on Saturday at DragonCon. So,
Wow.
Which is in the past, but you can always go back to Dragon Can.
Yeah.
So you need to go find a TARDIS, and then you can go backwards to DragonCon.
Because you're saying about all this great stuff, and you missed it.
Or you can check YouTube because it will probably be on DragonCon.
It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah. Don't Carol, with all your smarts and stuff, it just what the heck. Warlock Matt, do you have any questions for Christy?
Hey, I'm just curious. That owl seems really intricate in design.
Thank you.
Do you make a mold for that? Is that
I have to get molds. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have to get molds, and then I have to learn how to take it out of the mold because every mold is a little different. This is the hardest one. Not surprisingly. That's the hardest mold. But yeah, everything requires a mold, down to all these tiny raspberries and cherries and blueberries. Wow. So yeah, I just have gotten really good at using molds.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, we're really looking forward to having you back, and I mean, this is going to be what, Joey, 6 times larger than the last time Christy?
Yeah. From 5,500 square feet up to 30,000.
Wow.
And
lots of come out and fill that space. Parking spaces, fill the space, try all the stuff.
Yes. It's free. You just have to bring a canned good. And if you're not sure what canned goods to bring, we've posted some videos of the top 6 food types that the food bank, which we work with Second Harvest of Metrolina, their top 6 needs for canned foods. So, which, I have to say, when I was putting the video together, I learned a lot. So I'll share it with you, Christy, so that, you can learn too. But yeah, so they were talking about, you think about if somebody is got a food scarcity concern, you want to get them things. First of all, you want to make sure that it's something where they don't have to add a lot to it. So if you're buying something where they have to add milk and butter and perishable items that might be hard for them to get a hold of, those might not be the best choices if you're choosing something. If they just have to add water, or if they just need to heat it up, that's good. But like canned meats are a good source of protein. So like meats or salmon, tuna fish. If somebody needs vegan options, things like chickpeas that they can turn into something that's always a good option. Peanut butter or any kind of butter like that, can be one of the most filling proteins that people can use. And then, of course, they were talking about soups and stews, where again, if it's a condensed soup or stew, you want to make sure it's something that they just have to add water to it, not a whole bunch of other stuff. And then they were also talking about fruits. And one of the things that I didn't know is that canned fruits can be as healthy, if not healthier, than fresh fruits, because fresh fruits, they oxidize into the air some of the nutrients. But you want to make sure you're getting the ones that are in the juices, not the ones that are in the heavy syrups, because those are going to be better for you, but they're good sources. And then same thing with vegetables. If you get the canned vegetables and canned vegetable soups, you're going to want to try to get the lower sodium ones if you can, just because there's naturally a certain amount of sodium for preservation. But if you can get the canned vegetables, those are also high in like vitamins A and E, and that helps out. It's not going to give you the vitamin C. You're going to have to get that another way, but the A and E is really helpful. So I guess I really hadn't thought through all of that, but there are definitely things. And then there's also, you can see some really cool YouTube and TikTok videos about, you could put together a packet for somebody if they want to do a birthday, where it's like a can of soda and a box of cakes mix and an aluminum foil pan, and you can actually use the can of Sprite or ginger ale as a replacement for a bunch of it. So that way it's all in one. With candles, because that's something that's harder. Like buying your daily food is one thing, but then having the ability to buy a cake sometimes can be tougher for people. Just to be able, and everybody should be able to celebrate. So make sure to check that out. Make sure, so as much as beautiful and as edible looking as Christy's candles are, they are candles.
They are
so
candles.
If you forget your donation, do not try to donate her little bowl of strawberry sherbet. That is not what we're looking for the food bag. Buy it, take it home, enjoy the smells. But bring some canned goods with you. Our goal is to collect 10,000 pounds. That's what we last year between the two events, we did 20,000 pounds. I'd love to hit 20,000 pounds in one event. It's equivalent to about $3,000, because $1 will do 7 pounds of food. But I would really love to at least get the 10,000. So if you go to our website, you can actually, and even if you're too far away, if you love Christy, but you're in a different state altogether and you're not going to be able to make the Geekery market, but you should still fly in just to see her. But it's fine if you can't. Go to our website page and click on our charity link, and that will take you to our fundraiser page. And our goal is to raise $1,500. So if you would help do with that, or if you can come that day and bring the canned goods, that's great too. So I think I said it all. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
And in the meantime, check out Christy. She's one of the sweetest people you're ever going to meet. You're only going to go by her booth and say hello. And make sure to check out Trolley Witches with an E. And then check out Hawthorne and Holly and listen to her music. All right. Christy,
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
I appreciate you. Please tell Leah I'll be looking for one of those wreaths. So
okay.
I will, and I'll contact you guys online. Because remember, if you pre-order and pay for it in advance, it's like free when you get there, and you don't have to pay for it again. So that's geek math. That's market math, my friends.
I love it.
All right. Thank you, Christy.
Thanks you. So much.
That was an episode of Guardians of the Geekery. Thank you for listening. Check us out at guardiansofthegeekery.com and stay tuned for more content.